Getting off of the treadmill, Claire looked over at Hannah, who was still in the process of completing her running for the day. Drinking the remainder of the water inside the canteen, she sighed. I thought I would have gotten over crying and getting emotional. Claire headed over to the water fountain. As she walked over to the water fountain, she observed the soldiers training, either using firearms or hand-to-hand combat. With how much dedication they showed to the process of getting stronger and improving their skills, it made her think about her own passions. Reaching the water fountain, she undid the cap and tilted the canteen. Pressing on the pedal on the base of the fountain, water began pouring into the container. The sound of the water filling up the container was therapeutic to the stress she was feeling as she tried not to think about what they were training for. What am I going to do with my life? Claire thought to herself, removing her foot from the pedal and taking a quick sip of water before closing the cap. Is there any purpose that humans can aim for in a world where we are no longer the masters? During the entire time she was going through school, it was understood that she'd eventually attend medical school and follow after the footsteps of her parents. The problem now lay in how society effectively didn't exist outside the few pockets remaining outside the fort. At least inside of the fort, I don't have to worry about my safety compared to the survivors struggling out there. Moving to the wall where the fountain was up against, she leaned against the fortified cement. When we have to move to the emergency shelters designed by Star and Moon, will it be the same as our lives as they currently are, where there isn't any meaning outside of survival? She asked herself, not really expecting an answer to her thoughts. Her eyes moved to look at a woman with brunette hair firing a pistol at a target. Her arms held out in front as she gripped the weapon with both hands. Though it wasn't anything special, it helped Claire to sort through her thoughts. Penny for your thoughts? A voice interrupted Claire's thinking. Startled, she looked at the voice talking to her. Just like the woman she was observing, the person conversing with her had a standard military uniform. However, this woman's hair was blonde. Realizing she was staring at the woman, Claire looked away. Sorry, I was just lost in thought. The sound of water coming out of the fountain was heard, in addition to the slurping noise of the woman as she drank the water. When the woman was finished, she wiped the excess water from her mouth with her sleeve. Looking back at the woman, Claire said, I was just thinking about what the future has in store for me. Nodding, the woman made her way to lean against the wall next to Claire. I can understand that sentiment. You can? Claire's eyes widened in surprise, not expecting such a response. Chuckling, the woman said, Of course. Pausing for a moment, she continued, Being inside of this place, I often wonder for what reason we're training, especially after learning what those things out there are like. Are you talking about how the modified humans are likely immune to firearms? Claire asked in a small voice, not sure whether she should admit to knowing information that she may not be allowed to know. I see that someone is looking out for you, the woman laughed. Turning to look at the woman, Claire was confused by the reaction. The woman nodded. That information is relatively new. It was only after one of the patrols had encountered those things outside the fort that we learned about the likelihood of guns no longer being effective to stop those things. What does that mean for us? Claire felt a desire to know more about what was happening, but felt hesitant about knowing more. Shrugging, the woman said, I'm not sure. For some reason, the modified humans aren't approaching the fort. They only seem to be attacking patrols that get too far away from this place. Trying to understand the significance of the woman's words, Claire quietly digested the information.